We are organizing the Ulaanbaatar International Conference at the right time because this conference coincides in time with the World Economic Summit, which starts today in Davos, Switzerland. The two topical issues they are going to discuss in Davos meeting are world financial crisis, the global warming and climate change. So, as you can see, our conference also coincides an agenda item with the Davos summit. Item number 2 is the only item on the agenda of our conference. To my understanding, the reasons behind these two phenomena might be the same. So there is direct interconnection between these two problems. The major categories of participants from around the world, including 219 public figures, 40 heads of state government, 60 cabinet members, 30 heads of senior officials of international organizations, and many ambassadors are taking part in the Davos meeting. So I think it clearly shows that the global warming and climate change has become the number one issue and challenge for the world leaders, for the entire world community. His Excellency Mr. Nambar Enkbayar, President of Mongolia, is now in Davos. Exactly 8 years ago, I had the privilege to accompany Mr. Enkbayar, then Prime Minister of Mongolia, when he first attended the Davos meeting in January 2001. So I did observe how the world leaders pay attention to this pressing problem among other items. But it has been 8 years ago. Now the issue of global warming has become a topical agenda for all leaders. Among the VIPs of Davos Economic Summit meeting, we see His Excellency Al Gore, Nobel Peace Prize winner, distinguished former Vice President of the United States of America. I think everyone will admit that Honorable Al Gore is the top expert on the issue of global warming. On one occasion, Honorable Al Gore told me, the way of life most Mongolians lead is very much environmentally friendly. When I tried to say that we need more advancement in progress, he kindly advised me, saying, careful choice of right technology and careful choice of right attitude is instrumental. There are many wonderful cases that world leaders pay utmost attention to the pressing issue of global warming and climate change. For example, the new United States President Barack Obama selected as his cabinet member and Secretary of Energy Dr. Stephen Chu. The Nobel Prize winner is a well-known scientist. This clearly means a lot, I think. Now, there is no need to explain that urgent actions are required to stop or reduce the use of fossil fuels. The United Kingdom Prime Minister Gordon Brown is popular for his support in commissioning our report called Food Matters Towards a Strategy for the 21st Century that encourages British citizens to eat less meat in order to curb greenhouse gas emissions. An important international work is currently underway by Jens Hall, Swedish member of European Parliament, the Swiss Union for Vegetarianism, and the European Vegetarian Animal News Alliance. They had drafted a petition for the United Nations to promote the vegetarian diet as a means to end world hunger, curb global warming, and solve other dilemmas we currently face. The food versus feed petition will be closed on April 22nd, 2009, and then delivered to the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon on Earth Day, that is April 22nd. It is an appeal to the United Nations and all its agencies, as well as all citizens of the world, to consider an alternative and very powerful solution towards global starvation. The logical and compassionate plant-based diet. Right now, there is more than enough crop production in the world to feed the entire human population. However, according to the report from the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization on September 18, 2008, rising prices have plunged an additional 75 million people below the hunger threshold, bringing the estimated number of undernourished people worldwide to 900 million. In India, Ms. Pratibha Patil is first female president of India, but also Her Excellency is a vegetarian. No doubt that such leaders will make a great difference for the sake of our world. Another great vegetarian president was Dr. Janez Drnovšek of Slovenia. He made valuable contribution to better understanding of the urgent issue, global warming and climate change, its direct connection with vegetarian diet. I am confident that other speakers who have already convinced, and some is going to convince you about the intrinsic connection of global warming and the need for a vegetarian diet. The world spiritual leaders like Dalai Lama, Roman Pope Benedict, and Supreme Master Ching Hai make the same conclusion that behind the world financial crisis, as well as behind the global warming, there is hidden the same lack of spirituality and ethical degradation, and this surely deserves attention. Around 75% of business leaders, drawn principally from the Davos Forum's members, 1,000 of the foremost companies from around the world, and more than 1,000 CEOs and chairpersons from the world's leading companies are participating in the Davos Forum this year, which I have mentioned before. If these business leaders of the world gathered together with many world political leaders, accept the above said plain truth expressed by the intellectual and spiritual leaders, then a great change will occur to better the life for millions and to save the world in many ways. I would like to remind you of a great word of Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world. Yes, we need change of our thinking, perception, attitude, especially vis-à-vis global warming and climate change. I think we have to accept that the main reasons for disastrous global warming and climate change are the human activities spoiling the nature and environment. In this respect, in referring the agenda of our conference, we do appreciate the tremendous work carried out worldwide by the sponsor of the Ulaanbaatar conference, namely the Supreme Master Ching Hai International Association. This international NGO has made a big difference to drawing the attention of the world public on the urgent issue of global warming and climate change. I have in mind many other international conferences of this kind. I am confident that through the concerted actions of world leaders, regardless of being